Good day, my name is Palesakawa Stanley and I'm with my group mates
Florence Prakikets,
Dinaya Maja.
Mary Sagaraba Abigail Manu.
Calvin Okoro.
and today we'll be presenting about research writing and the contents of a research paper. The first content of a research paper is the research topic. The research topic is important because it is what a researcher wants to investigate and talk about in the document or research paper. The importance of a research topic is that it acts as a foundation for the research and it determines what you will not and will cover in your research document for your readers to be able to go through and understand. Traits of a good research topic. The first trait is that your topic should be clear and not too broad in order for the readers to be able to understand your topic and document fully. The second is that it should fill a gap or solve a problem that has not yet been solved in full or has not been solved at all. The third is that your research topic should be researchable and it should be easy to access any resources that are needed on the topic. Is the introduction. According to M. Tabakol from the National Library of Medicine, the primary purpose of a research introduction is to provide the reader with a clear understanding of the research question. Why is the introduction important? The introduction is important because it gives the reader context on what the research document is about and gives reasons for why it is important. It is also important because it helps manage the reader's expectation by stating the limits of the study, and it helps the reader engage with the document and better understand it whilst they are reading it. The introduction is also important because it gives readers a look into the author's writing style, and it helps seize the reader's attention to make them read the whole document so that it is easier for them to better understand and grasp what is written in the document. To write a good introduction, you need the following. Your introduction should be short and straightforward. To write a good introduction page, you need to avoid putting too much information and using long terminology that other readers will not be able to understand. And you should also avoid not putting enough background about the information topic that you'll be covering into your introduction page.
Now we'll be explaining research objectives. Research objectives are the goals that guide your research. The purpose of research objectives: they define the main purpose of the study, they help the research to stay on track, they help to identify the key issues to be explored, and are also a basis for evaluating results and drawing conclusions. There are two types of research objective. We have general and specific objectives. Features of a good objective: they are clear, time-bound, and are also relevant to the research problem.
Now moving on to the research problem. A research problem is a clear, concise statement about an issue or a gap in knowledge that a study intends to address. Different types of research problems. We have a theoretical research problem. A theoretical research problem focuses on expanding existing knowledge by exploring abstract concepts, frameworks, or models. These problems are not aimed at solving immediate real-world issues, but rather at understanding underlying principles, relationships, or phenomena. The purpose of a theoretical research problem is to develop or refine theories, models, or explanations within a discipline. And an action research problem. Action research problem is a specialized form of applied research that not only seeks practical solutions to real-world problems, but also emphasizes active participation, context-specific change, and ongoing reflection. The purpose of it is to bring about change in a particular context, for example, classroom, organization, or a community.
I'll be taking you through the research hypothesis. Hypothesis is simply a guess that can be tested. To write a
hypothesis, you have to follow the following steps. Step 1, identify a research topic. Step 2, review your literature. This involves summarizing and reading what has already been discovered about your research topic. Step 3, formulate your hypothesis. Using a format, if this happens, then this will happen. Step 4, write your hypothesis. Step 5, define your population and sample. Clearly define the population you are studying and the sample you used to research your topic. Step 6, use appropriate method to test your hypothesis, including observation, survey, and interview. A good hypothesis should be specific, measurable, and based on existing knowledge.
Now moving on to the literature review. A literature review is a comprehensive survey of scholarly sources on specific topic. Also known as critical review essay, it summarizes and evaluates a body of writings about a specific topic. The key characteristics of it, and the first one is overview of current knowledge, synthesis and analyzing, critical evaluation, identification of gaps, context for new research, organizational pattern. Thank you.
And I'll be taking you through a research design. A research design is a strategy used for answering a research question using empirical data. There are two types of research design, which are qualitative and qualitative research design. Qualitative research design is often used in methods of observation. There are types again of qualitative research which are grounded theory, narrative research, case study, and etc. There are also methods of qualitative research design which are interviews, observation, case study, and visual methods. And there is a quantitative research design, which is a type of research design. And a quantitative research design, it is aimed on how people act, behave, and think in a specific way. There are types of quantitative research design, which are survey research, longitudinal design, correlation design, and experimental design. We also have methods of quantitative research design, which are surveys, experiments, and observational study. Discussion. It is an activity in which people talk about something and start sharing ideas and opinions. Types of discussion: factual, opinion-based, case study, and abstract.
Now we're explaining the conclusion. The conclusion is basically the summary of your main findings of the research. The purpose of the conclusion is to summarize the main findings of the research. It also reminds readers of the research question. It helps to identify unresolved questions. It also discusses the importance of the findings. A well-structured conclusion should briefly restate the research question into new words. It should also summarize the key findings, explain by implication, and suggest areas for future research. Tips for writing an effective conclusion: avoid re-explaining details from the body, summarize and interpret existing information, avoid repeating phrases or sentences from earlier section, end with a clear note of the researcher's contribution to the field. This final section is your chance to leave a lasting impression, so make it count.
Moving to the recommendation. Recommendation is practical suggestion based on your findings. Recommendation should be specific, measurable,
project, we've learned that a research is a structured process starting with a clear topic and problem, followed by objectives and hypotheses.
It is built on a literature review and a specific research design, culminating in a discussion of findings, a conclusion, and actionable recommendations.
And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for watching.